heavy today, guys. Now, half the time when you see me, I'm looking a little bit dewy, guys. It isn't actually sweat. It's my beauty routine. Woo! Let's have an 80s beach party, shall we? Woo! Up Tropicana, drinks are free. Woo! Let's just have an 80s. Anyway, guys, so it was actually quite funny because we just had an Indian guy, weather expert, telling us to be wary of temperatures in this country, which probably only scratch the surface of the temperatures in India, honestly, all year round. But anyway, it is hot, that's faux show, and it's bringing in thunderstorms, which actually a friend of mine in Cornwall was just saying that they've got thunderstorms, which would be nice actually, because it would just break the humidity a little bit. But anyway, guys, the reason I came on is because, guys, I don't know, well, obviously any of you that have been watching me for any time at all, okay, even just a couple of months, may remember that a couple of months ago I actually said, and I mean I've been believing this for years, I think since COVID, okay, the powers that be have been being shut down behind the scenes. The evil, okay, and I think the higher the echelon, okay, the more likely it is to have been taken down, okay. It's the lower echelons that are flailing now. There's another new purple flower that I've just suddenly become aware of. Anyway, and so therefore we've got what we're really experiencing, guys, is a media frenzy. Okay, what we're experiencing is a paid for media frenzy to keep everybody distracted and preoccupied so they don't start asking the right questions, okay, about, you know, potentially the higher echelons that are losing it. And I said this a couple of months ago, guys, I think the only way that we are going to notice, and I'm hoping and I'm praying that this is true, okay, that honestly, paradise will be, well, it's already here, guys. Let me just finish, okay, and then I'll go into that. I said the only way that we are going to really even notice that suddenly we're living in paradise, okay, is that things are going to start getting cheaper again. Things are going to start getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, to the point where potentially they'll either be free or very, very cheap, because we won't be having all of these, border controls, paying taxes and things like that. I mean, first of all, it's going to get cheaper. Second of all, it may disappear altogether, okay? Let everybody have a break, live on your stores. If you don't have stores, I'm sorry, okay? I am sorry, but you were warned, because everybody wants to have a break from their job, okay? So you were told, get some fucking stores, and if you haven't done it, then it's because you like having a break, but you don't like anybody else to have a break, okay? Which is really unfair. Let everybody have a break for a while, let the whole system shut down, the whole world shut down, so that nature can even incubate for a little bit longer in her own juices. And you know, I'm thinking more in terms of, well, let's be real, it's going to be plasma, okay guys, but I kind of meant, you know, invisible nourishing sort of gases, and you know, just exchanges, just biochemical exchanges that are happening and have been happening since COVID, to equate to a situation whereby there are more bees, okay, than I've seen for a long time. There is more flower. You know, the blackberry's just gone mad this year. The clover has gone crazy. The bees are all on top of the clover. They're loving those little white clovers, and I've stood on two of them, and it's really annoying. I don't like killing bees, and I don't like the venom that lingers in your body, and as it's healing, it's just so itchy. Anyway, so I said life is going to start getting seriously cheaper, and guys, I've been noticing for a couple of weeks, I've been noticing fuel getting cheaper. Not everywhere, but some places it is considerably cheap. It's dropped about 13-15p per litre. Okay, we go in litres here, not gallons. And you know, we've been living with prices of £1.50, you know, between 140 and 150 a litre for you know, for years really. It's now dropped down to, in some places, like 138 to 132 I've seen in some places. Anyway, yesterday I get a call from my mortgage company. I think, oh God, what's this all about? And so I give them a call back, and talking to the lady, did you receive our letter? No, I haven't received it, about the complaint. I was like, which complaint? She ripped off a list of complaints. And it was basically about, no, what was it basically about? Just everything from the fact that I never get to talk to the same person twice. It's 3 companies, makes it very complicated. Nobody knows what's going on. And about 30 to 50% of the time, I actually end up being on the phone, you know, being on hold for like 20 to 30 minutes, and then I get transferred and I get cut off. Sort of thing. And then she was like, oh, that they always try and call you back. Well, no, they don't, but I couldn't be bothered to argue the toss. So all of the rest of it, she decided they're not acknowledging, okay, but they are going to give me 50 quid. So altogether they've given me 400 quid, guys, which I think is pretty good. But anyway, I did say to her, look, I've had some posts delivered today, I haven't had a look through it, let me just go and have a look. I noticed there was a letter from the mortgage company, so I said, let me just open it, because she was going, shall I send you out another letter? And I was like, well, look, let me just open it, and then I'll let you know whether I need you to send out another letter or not. And I opened it, and I'd wanted this the mortgage rate, base rate anyway, because I am considering, and I'd asked her, would there be a penalty if I were to pay off my mortgage if I managed to get it cheaper somewhere else? So it was so interesting because it had the base rate on there, and I mean, honestly, it's the price of, I've had cheaper personal loans in the past, honestly, guys. It was, well, but the good news is, guys, my mortgage has literally dropped £100 overnight. 0.2% of the interest rate. So it was 7.7, it's now 7.5. So this is what I'm saying, guys. This is what I'm saying. Everything you're seeing is a fucking, and I don't know, okay, I actually don't know. I mean, I hate seeing people say that what we're experiencing with the Trump administration is evil, as if the Democrats would have been any better. It was already, they had already taken it from something pretty good to something catastrophic. Okay, they'd already done that. So anyone coming in and trying to do anything, first of all, has to start to clear up the mess that they made. Okay, and that could potentially add to more. I don't know. But the other thing that's happening is a massive amount of deep fake. It's serious, guys. It really, really is. So my feeling is that with a lot of what we're seeing, you know, is deep fake, and it's just the way that the powers that be are pushing you know, this kind of agenda for the media to push that actually isn't true. That actually isn't true at all. But everybody's up in arms about it, instead of just getting on with up leveling their own selves and their own health. I know that they actually think you're being selfish by doing that, but there is nothing else you can do. The more you panic, the more you worry, the more you feel sorry even for people that you have absolutely no idea what is actually going on in their country. And I actually saw today that Israel are bombing themselves. Okay. You're only going to make it worse with all of your fighting and all of your pushing back and all of your worry and all of your thinking that on some level you're helping by panicking. Okay, no, you are not helping. You are making the situation worse. The only way you can help is to heal yourself, and it is not selfish. 100% it is not selfish. It is the only thing you can do. It is being self-centered, centered in the self, in love. Okay? Not selfishness. You're going to come over there, guys. Go this way. And so that is amazing, guys. So that is amazing. Prices are going down. I really do believe it. And I actually love seeing Trump playing the fool. I love it. I love it. It's so disrespectful for that fucking bullshit that they call politics and government. That is absolute torture, torment, and trauma, honestly, and has been going on for 2,000 years. So I'm actually getting really fucking sick of the life bypassers that seem to think that on any level, anyone that can actually see evil is projecting it. Bull fucking shit. Okay, bull fucking shit. Right? Why do you think that you know your parents were so evil? Right? It has to do with a fucking culture of it. It has to do with absolute terror that was terrorized and pushed and forced onto we the people. Okay, like I said, being forced to watch emperors abuse little boys and turn them into women and stand by and do nothing. And there are plenty of those stories online now. So if you for 1 minute think that paedophilia isn't happening, then I honestly don't even know what to call you and what to say to you, because you're just simply not there as far as I can tell. Now I'm going to go to the Valley of the Foxgloves today, actually, and I've got this little thing going on up in here. Don't really like taking it with me on a walk, but I will from time to time. So I just had to come on here to say that, guys. I'll quickly just go through what I believe the generations to be, a sort of got it in my head yesterday. So I think Gen X, so I think each generation really lasts for about 20 years. And I saw that somebody else was sort of slightly taking my idea and it's talking about Pluto. And I haven't watched the video yet, but I've only just noticed that I've worked out it's 20 years and Pluto takes 20 years to go through a sign. So it's about every 20 years. So we're looking at, I'm thinking it's kind of 60 to 80 is Gen X, okay? 80 to 2000 is sorry, 80 to 2000 is Gen Y, and I talked about them before. They're kind of the people that are just asking why. Just wait for me for a minute, B. I'll be out in a minute. So it's actually from about 2000 that we have the Gen Zs, okay? And I mean, there is a little fluctuation in between all of that. And obviously there are people who have been mass mind controlled and manipulated in every generation, okay? And because, you know, as we can see from, you know, the Roman Empire times, young boys have been destroyed, okay? And they've been forced to be dancing girls, okay? And so, you know, we've all taken on an essence of that degeneration, okay, degenerative mindset, okay, on some level. We simply can't help but take it on and take it in. So, and then from 2005, okay, no, sorry, 2000 to 2020, sorry, from 2020, for the last 5 years, we're starting to bring in the alphas, okay? And the alphas are serious, okay? They are coming in with the most incredible technologies, okay, of just mind over matter, honestly, and understandings of reality. It's so beautiful to witness. It really, really is. And so, of course, like, you know, there are some fluctuations within, you know, you will have some early birds, okay, from one generation, and you will have some late birds, potentially, from another generation, okay? So I think I'll leave it there. I'm noticing that probably, possibly, maybe the best thing to do on the YT is to keep them short. I'd like to try and keep them short to about under 15 minutes, but I didn't do that this time.